what's happening, fool? What's shaking my shit? I'm cool, G. Yeah. Mama said be nice to him. My demeanor going right through him. Credit line to the max. We overstacking though. Steez on my arm. We came for capital. I stump on crowns, I wake up towns. You know my name, boy, I break up clouds. I clear smoke globally. I'm from the era where the scary niggas sit back with this rap, so who controlling me? My clock's at the western time, but I'm in Brooklyn with the best of the dimes. Like Shorty, I'm one of the best in your city. I made a lot of niggas rest in this city. I left my mind there. They should put a statue of me in Times Square. Yeah. From the side where we ride, know the winners in our pride. Finger twisted, lift it high, go. And I did it for they side too. Wake up in the morning, I say hi you. Okay, chopped cheese, fresh butters, LA Hatton, Soho with my brother Soul. Told me it's another road. You gotta go east to tackle the beast. I went east to actually feast and came back with 800K in them black bags for lease. They said he couldn't do it cause it's battle rep. Okay, I bought my first mansion with a battle check. Okay, 2 commas around, I let my talent show. Okay, I told you niggas I am not the average. Okay, to my niggas out in Harlem, thanks for all that you done. To them niggas over the bridge, we tell them don't be dumb. To the uptown, to the downtown, to the midtown, I love y'all. The west up, but I never dub y'all, for real. From the side where we ride, know the winners in our pride. Finger twisted, lift it high, go. And I did it for they side too. Wake up in the morning, I say hi you. Okay, you boys had years to show you the best clear. Now it's people in your class that they consider your peers. It must be the bridge that's making these niggas showboat. First week sales mean nothing to the flow go. 5 years later, 2 diamonds off pure rhyming. Never made a drill track, I never went with the climate. Never followed any trends cause I understood the assignment. Album selling for 5K a piece, 10K if I sign it. They said Light could be the best if he had the numbers. Well guess what nigga, I got the numbers. It's time for your block to slumber. They wanna call now, I block the number. You blizzard niggas, we'll squash the tundra. Hunger, I'm from the city where the sun shine clearly, and I mean that. I hope you niggas hear me. If you don't, then it's a dearly departed off of some shit that y'all started. Yeah, we cool, but the feeling's still eerie. Be humble.
Ain't even too much talking to do, cause you might be an informant anyway. I ain't with the small talk, I let the tequila do it. Bulletproof the Porsche like Tony, I let the dealer do it. Cracking the hoopty that needed the power steering fluid. They just had to pass it off to me, I was like, yeah, I do it. They ain't never did what I done, so don't compare them to it. Quiet while I'm up in the kitchen, I put the care into it. Bars don't appreciate, my shit decapitate. Streets know what it is, so go on with your accolades. This is for the underprivileged that call hell home. Trump gave him 1,200, Obama gave him cell phones. My man got a quarter, he was getting shorter. They hit him with another one, I'm scared to tell his daughter. Shit is getting crazy, drug game is out of order. This fentanyl, pills, or this K2 in this water. Not the money you save, the money that you run through. Damn shame, but I guess that's what it's come to. They run the game, huh? I guess that's what it's come to. Followers and likes, I guess that's what it's come to. Stars overnight, I guess that's what it's come to. But when that money run out, guess who they run to? Beefing on the internet, I guess that's what it's come to. captions and comments. Yes, that's what it's come to. Whole lot of nonsense. That's what it's come to. Fake chains, damn shame. That's what it's come to. As far as rappers go, kill a few, teach a few. I'm in a digital space that's unreachable. I got a eulogy written out for each of you. You know exactly just who the fuck I'm speaking to. This ain't music that's made to stand on the couch, boy. This is something that real niggas can vouch for. He ain't get one kite, he got a dime in. His paperwork ain't right, he got to sign in. This is a real conversation, don't even chime in. Niggas always go wrong cause they don't read the fine print. When the money run out, guess who they run to? Damn shame, but I guess that's what it's come to. What?
All right, let's go. Welcome. Hope everybody's having a good day. Hope you are safe. Before we get started, man, hope those that are listening out in the California, especially Los Angeles area, man, hope you are safe. Hope you evacuated. Hope everything is good, which it's not looking too good on a lot of fronts out there in LA. So, stay prayed up and, hope everybody's safe out there. For those of you that are caught up in the winter storm and all of that kind of stuff, man, I hope you're safe too, man. Hope you're prepared and hope your family is safe throughout this weather experience. That's all I'm gonna say about that. But let's go ahead and get into it. Was gonna do a show on Friday, decided not to, so let's go ahead and combine both of the shows. This is my playoff preview, but we will be talking about in depth the Joy Taylor situation. Look, it is getting crazy with that situation. We'll also be talking about the Jimmy Butler situation in detail, because for those who be kind of following that, it's deeper than surface. It's deeper than deeper than a lot of people are really giving it credit for it. Maybe that's just me looking at it in so many different dimensions. But anyway, give shouts out to those who made this. How you doing, Eucalyptus? Can't wait. Can't wait. Can't wait. Eagerly anticipating that. But let's go ahead and kind of get into it. Playoffs are this weekend. Wild card round is this weekend. This is a good time for football. If you're a football fan, I had to pull myself away from that Notre Dame Penn State game that is currently on right now. It was 10-10 when I started the show. I would say this college football. This game is it's not gonna say it's a snooze fest. It's more of if you appreciate defense, this is more of the game for you. But big weekend, all the way to Monday, football games galore, college football playoffs. But of course, we're here to talk about the NFL wild card weekend. Like I said, it's this weekend. Season is over, and this is where you make your money. This is where your legacy is built, and it's a lot of potential storylines in this wild card weekend. We're gonna talk about it as we kind of break down each and every game. Let's kind of get into it, starting with the games that are on Saturday. Got two on Saturday. We're going to start with the Chargers and the Texans. Texans are the home team. Chargers coming in on the road. This is kind of a hard game to kind of pick, considering the season that the Texans kind of have. To me, you won the division, 10-7 in a stacked AFC. I don't think anybody had the Texans being 10-7 coming into this season. I thought it would be a little bit better record-wise, but you have some injuries. But the play kind of dropped off, but it picked up when it needed to, and they ended up winning the division, securing them a home game. And they got the Chargers, a team who has had a very good season under first-year head coach Harbaugh. And I've been saying this all season. I thought the Chargers were about a year ahead of schedule. But they're here. They made the playoffs with the best scoring defense in the NFL. I don't think a lot of people were giving them credit. The Chargers is not a newsworthy type. Let's be honest. They're not a newsworthy type team. You're not going to get the clicks and views talking about the Chargers unless you're talking to Chargers Nation. The Chargers had a very good season. Thoroughly surprised. Like I said, I thought this team was about a year ahead of schedule with the season that they had. But let's talk about this game. And you got the number one defense coming in as far as scoring wise in the Chargers, and offense has been kind of a struggle for the Texans all year. We've talked about CJ Stroud possibly hitting a sophomore slump. This season has not played to the level that he played to in his fantastic rookie year. And this game is kind of up for grabs. This game is kind of up for grabs because as good as Los Angeles. I keep forgetting they moved. But as good as Los Angeles Chargers defense has been all year, the offense has been kind of up and down. And you expected it to be up and down when you walk. The team let the weapons they had go away. this past off season, and you're doing it with a first year head coach. Your leading receiver, your best receiver is a rookie who's had a very good rookie season. Talking about Lab McConkey, wide receiver that played at Georgia. But you have Justin Herbert, who has quietly had a very good season. But this is an offense that you can get after the quarterback. Justin Herbert does take a lot of sacks. You can put a lot of that on the offensive line. Play has not been up to par for a large chunk of the season. They've been battling injuries along that offensive line. But this is, like I said, it's kind of a pick 'em game here. This is kind of a pick 'em game. Typically, playoffs, you kind of lean towards the home team, lean towards the team that won the division. But in this one, the Texans have not instilled any kind of confidence in me after starting the season out as hot as they did. They definitely cooled off. And this is not a team that's rolling into the playoffs, instilling a lot of confidence in the bettors, the folks that like to hit their parlays and that kind of stuff. So in this one, man, I got Chargers. I got Chargers going in on the road. I think the defense is going to give CJ Stroud and the boys enough issue where they're going to have a hard time struggling scoring the ball. And I think the Chargers make it's not, listen, I don't think this is going to be a pretty game. I don't think this is going to be one of those games you look back on and say, they put on the classic, but hell, what the hell did I know? They may do that, but I don't anticipate that, considering how both of these offenses have had issues. But I got a little bit more confidence in what the Chargers got going on there as far as on the defensive side of the ball. Like I said, I think they're going to be able to confuse CJ Stroud a little bit. The Texans have been battling injuries, particularly in the wide receiver room. Like I said, it's kind of a picking game. If you were to pick Texans, I wouldn't be mad at you, but I got Chargers, and I think the Chargers are playing a little bit better at this point. I think the Texans are coming in as the wounded animal. They've kind of limped to the finish line. Luckily for them, played in a bad division that didn't really pose any challenge to them, or we might be having a different conversation here. But I got Chargers in this one. The other Saturday game is round 3 of one of the best rivalries, not just the NFL, but in sports in particular. You got the Ravens at home, who stormed back later to catch up and pass the Steelers to take the division. This is round 3. This is round 3, and I'm gonna pick Ravens because that's first of all, that's my Super Bowl pick. But I think the Ravens are the better team right now. I think they're playing better right now. I got Ravens in this one, but the Steelers typically and historically have given the Baltimore Ravens issues at times. Yes, Baltimore won the last matchup, but Pittsburgh didn't win the earlier matchup this year. Reason why I'm going Ravens is not necessarily much so what the Ravens are doing. I think the Ravens are peaking at the right time, but it's just look like when you look at the Steelers, especially over the last 4 games of the season, it's been talk of the team possibly moving on from Mike Tomlin, which in my own personal opinion, think that'd be a bad move. Mike Tomlin's one of the best head coaches in the NFL. But if you look at how Pittsburgh's offense has looked coming down the stretch, it looks like it's a bit of dysfunction there. I think some of those issues that you have with George Pickens, if you've been kind of following the Steelers, George Pickens has had his issues. I don't know if it's a maturity thing. I don't know what's going on with him in Pittsburgh. He doesn't seem like he's focused and locked in on playing winning football. He gets distracted out on the field way too much. Had a lot of drops in the last game. It's not looked good in the second half of the season. And Pittsburgh's offense has looked horrible. It's looked like one of the worst offenses in the NFL, especially over the last month of the season. Russell Wilson is doing a competent enough job, but it's nothing to be raving about. No pun intended. It's nothing to be raving about as far as what Pittsburgh has done, especially coming down the stretch. Yeah, granted, she plays against some very good teams coming down the stretch, but you didn't look good. You didn't look good. The offense never really got on track, and the defense has played well this year. Defense is one of the better. Pittsburgh has one of the better defenses in the NFL this season, but truth be told, hey, how you doing, Teresa? Truth be told, the defense can only carry you so far. And Pittsburgh doesn't have one of those historically, historic defense when we're talking about like 2000 Ravens, where they can carry this team to the Super Bowl. And I think, in this matchup, with the way that Baltimore has kind of gotten their self together after having like a bit of an issue in the middle of the season, gotten themselves together. Lamar Jackson is rolling. Derrick Henry is rolling. And it's just a rivalry game, so it's not too many wrinkles you can give and put into the playbook and put into the preparation, especially in a week span that's going to confuse. And I think Baltimore goes out there and takes care of business at home. And I think they win comfortably. I don't think this game is going to be as close as you would typically see when you have division rivals meeting up again in the playoffs. Pittsburgh, they've looked off track, man. This team has just looked off track, especially on the offensive side. Defense has done enough to kind of keep them in a lot of these games, but offenses look bad. I think they've been averaging 14 points over the last 4 games. That's not going to cut it, especially in today's NFL. And you don't have one of those defenses like we were talking about the 2000 Ravens. There's going to be a lot of questions in Pittsburgh after they lose. After they lose Saturday, it's going to be a lot of questions. What's Mike Tomlin's future going to be in Pittsburgh? What direction does Pittsburgh want to take? You have Justin Fields in the house. He's going to be a free agent. Russell Wilson will be a free agent. So this team could be looking very different next year. This team can be looking very different next year. So it's going to be a lot of questions coming out of this game for Pittsburgh, but it's no question for me. I got Baltimore handling business at home, winning round 3 in this matchup and moving on in the playoffs. And as if we talk about moving on, those are the Saturday games. Like I said, it's a lot of football this week. You got game tonight. You got a game. I want to say a game tomorrow, college football playoffs. But back to the NFL. Look at it. Sunday's slate. Sunday's got some very interesting games. I'm gonna be honest with you. Go ahead and give you the short version, but I'll give you the long version as I break each of them down. I'm going home teams in all of these matchups, and I'll explain why. The first one we're going to look at is going to be the Broncos and Bills. I think Buffalo is playing at such a high level, and this team has been playing at a very high level all season long. I think Josh Allen very comfortably in the MVP conversation. We'll see if he wins it. But Buffalo has played above expectations. To be 13-4, to have some of the signature wins that they have, putting the L on Detroit, putting the one true L on Kansas City earlier this season. Buffalo just seems like they have the right mix. The defense is getting after, they're flying after the ball, and they're playing very sound football up there in Buffalo, not really beating themselves, and you got to go out there and beat them. And the way that they're playing, like I said, they're playing on such a high level. Broncos defense has kind of slipped over the last month of the season. This was one of the better defenses to start the season for a good chunk. But the offense is kind of compensated for that. While the defense was carrying them early, the offense has kind of picked it up. Bo Nix has had a very good rookie year. We'll definitely get some rookie of the year votes for sure. But I think this is a bad matchup for Denver coming in. Like I said, Buffalo's is playing at such a high level. And I think Buffalo has their eyes clearly set on the AFC Championship, and this looks like a Super Bowl contending team. Listen, it wouldn't surprise me if Buffalo makes it to the Super Bowl. I think they're playing that well, have been playing that well all season, very, very consistently, playing like that all year. Kudos to what the Broncos have done, especially with a rookie quarterback at the helm. But I think this is going to be a bad matchup for them. Maybe if they was playing the Texans, I might give them more of a shot to win, but I don't see Denver going on the road, beating Buffalo up there. And who knows what the weather is going to look like in Buffalo. We'll talk about weather affecting another game a little bit later. But I like the Broncos. I like the season that you have. But, I think it all ends for you guys on Sunday around 4 o'clock after that game is over. But I got Buffalo in that one. I got Buffalo comfortably in that one. Like I said, they've been playing at a very, very, very high level all season long, so it's hard for me to pick against them. Same thing in the next game on the Sunday slate. You got Philadelphia at home hosting the Green Bay Packers. Listen, they played early this season. Green Bay put up a pretty decent performance, but Green Bay has had an issue, especially over the last week of the season. They've played well all year. Granted, they've been in probably the toughest division all season long, but Green Bay they start too slow. They have the firepower, they have the scheme, they have the defense to make this a game with Philadelphia. I hope Philadelphia's not looking past Green Bay. Looking ahead to a possible matchup against Minnesota or Detroit later on down the road. I hope Philadelphia's not looking past them. Philadelphia does have some questions. We'll talk about that in just a second, but Green Bay is just too inconsistent to start these games. And in the playoffs, you can't have slow starts and expect to run down teams. Every team that's in the playoffs whether you like them or not, whether you think they're going to win or not. These are all good quality teams, and that's the reason why they're in the playoffs. But I like Philly at home. I like Philly at home. Question I have with Philly in this one, is Jalen Hurts, who's been out for a couple of weeks, concussion protocol. Early reports are that he's looked sharp in practice, but he hasn't played in about 3 weeks. And you're asked to step out there, big playoff game. Expectations will be high for Philadelphia. You are expected to win, but what rhythm will Jalen Hurts be in come Sunday? I don't know. I don't know, for a guy who's missed 3 weeks, and typically Jalen Hurts is a guy that's a rhythm type quarterback. Luckily for Philadelphia, if Jalen Hurts comes out there and he's not in rhythm, you can always lean on Saquon Barkley, who's had a historic season, 2,000 yards, and that's just the rushing yards. We're not even talking about the yards he has catching the ball and the other things that Saquon does to help this team. I think for Philadelphia to be successful during this playoff run. Listen well, and Eucalyptus, I know you agree with me when I say this. Listen well. For Philadelphia to be successful and possibly make a run to the Super Bowl, it's got to be Saquon first. It's got to be Saquon second, then Jalen Hurts third. I think you got to lean on Saquon Barkley, the pressure he puts on a team's defense, because when Saquon has got it going, and that not only helps the offense, it opens things up in the passing game, but it also limits the amount of time that this Philadelphia defense has been on the field, and they've needed that all year. So they've gotten better and better. Those young guys, the Bears. that was a throwaway game. How you doing, Josephine, YouTube photo? How y'all doing? But when you look at Philadelphia, and I've been saying it. Hope y'all good and staying warm. Yeah, hope y'all staying warm. Winter storm. That's why Friday I was gonna do a show. I was like, hell, let's go ahead and get it out the way. Because I want to be Netflix and chilling. I'm just gonna be honest with you, Netflix and chilling. But you talk about Philadelphia, you've heard me say it all season. This team works best when Saquon is getting a healthy dose of touches in the run game, in the pass game, takes the pressure off Jalen Hurts, takes the pressure off this defense, and this defense has gotten better throughout the season because of the presence of a Saquon Barkley. I think it'd be a mistake, Philadelphia. I think it would be a mistake, Philadelphia. I'll say it again for you Philly fans. It will be a mistake, Philadelphia, to think you're going to be successful and possibly make a Super Bowl run if you think Jalen Hurts is going to be the driving engine for that. Saquon has gotten you this far. Keep riding that workhorse all the way to a possible Super Bowl run. Philadelphia has the tools in place to make a Super Bowl run, but this Nick Sirianni, don't get in your way. But I got Philadelphia in this one. It wouldn't shock me if Green Bay puts up a fight. Green Bay is one of those sneakily good teams, but they have not played well, too well when they've gone up against a higher level of competition. The Green Bay team last year scared me more than this one, because that team last year didn't really beat themselves, and they played a winning style of football. This team here, it takes them too long, to kind of get it going, and that's the reason why I'm picking against it. If it was Green Bay was playing, let's say they was playing in the other game, which is the Washington Commanders, Tampa Bay, I would probably lean towards Green Bay beating Tampa Bay. But I think Philadelphia is lean on Saquon. You'll be fine. You'll have a lot of success going forward. But if you're thinking you're going to throw Jalen Hurts out there and have him throw 30, 35 times a game and thinking that's the formula to win, I don't believe that. And the results of your season has shown that. But anyway, moving on to the next game on Sunday slate. You got the Commanders and Buccaneers. Buccaneers are winners of the NFC South. Watch the Commanders, a team nobody, and I don't even think Commanders fans will sit up here and lie to you. I think nobody had this team making the playoffs when the season started. You started a rookie quarterback, new head coach, new system in place. Nobody had this team getting there. Washington has had a very good run. This is a matchup they could possibly win. This is a matchup they could possibly win. Tampa Bay has some holes on defense. If you can exploit them, this is a team that likes to get after the quarterback. A lot of blitz packages from Tampa Bay. But I think if I'm going to, I've said I was going to home teams, and the reason why I'm picking home teams, have more confidence, and I never thought I would hear myself say this on a microphone anywhere. Have more confidence in Baker Mayfield than in Jay Daniels. Has had a fantastic season. He is, clearly my pick for rookie of the year. But something's got to be said about veteran experience. Something's got to be said about veteran experience. And Tampa Bay is one of those teams that have veterans in the right places. And listen, if you've not been watching the Buccaneers, this was one of sneakily, and it's not always sexy how they do it. But this is sneakily one of the better offenses in the league, even with Godwin being out for the year. Even with Mike Evans missing a lot of time, Baker Mayfield has had a very good year. I think it'll be another Pro Bowl selection for him, probably as an alternate. But Tampa Bay has one of the better offenses in the league, and their run game has gotten it going since they kind of going to a multi-bag system there in Tampa Bay. That run game is just been it's been a game changer. It's been a game changer. And one of the weaknesses you have with the Commanders, hey, defensively. This team has gotten, I'm be honest with you, has gotten worse as the season is kind of going on. It's not been drastic, but it's been considerably worse week after week after week. It's been, they give up too many yards, too many big plays for me. And, Tampa Bay has the capability to put up points in bunches on this defense. But I think it'll be a very good game. To me, probably when you look at the schedule here for the playoffs, probably one of the more entertaining games possibly on the schedule. Jaden Daniels' playoff debut. We're going to see how he performs under the bright lights with the pressure on in a playoff game. But I lean towards the veteran in this one, and I'm going Baker Mayfield and Tampa Bay handling business at home and moving on in the playoffs. Now you have the last game that's going to be on Monday night. Was going to be in LA, but due to the fires out there in Los Angeles in the Palisades area, the game has been moved to Arizona. So the Monday night game will not be in LA. So no real home field advantage for either team. You're talking about the Rams and the Vikings. So no home field advantage. It's pretty much on the neutral field to be in Arizona. And this has got the makings to probably be the game of the weekend. Minnesota comes in. Coming off a loss to Detroit, but Minnesota has had a very good year. Sam Darnold has had a very good year. This defense has been spectacular all year long. But something about those Rams. This is a Rams team. Probably their signature win of the season was taking care of business against Buffalo when Buffalo was really hot. Something about this Rams team just is, caution. I mean, this is a championship. This is a team that has championship pedigree at the right position. We're talking about head coach Sean McVay. You talk about Matthew Stafford, who has a Super Bowl ring. Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, he didn't play in that Super Bowl, has been a fantastic wide receiver since they drafted him. This was my dark horse team coming into the season for the NFC. And I went home teams for all the Sundays game. I'm gonna go out on a limb here. I got Rams in this one. I think people have not really been watching what LA have been doing out there. And, this team has been battling injuries on both sides of the ball. But they've gotten healthy as the season has kind of gone on. And I think this sets up with it being on a neutral field. So no home field advantage, which I don't think the Rams really need in this particular matchup. And just questions about Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold, even though he has had a fantastic how you doing, beautiful? Even though Sam Darnold has had a fantastic season, every game he'll give a defense a chance to take one away from him. He reverts back to some of those bad habits, but he's had a very good year. But I don't know how confident I am in Sam Darnold in the first real playoff appearance against the guy Matthew Stafford, who has got a ring, got years of experience, and the Rams are a sneakily good team. I said this before the season started. I've been saying it all year long. The Rams are a sneakily good team, but I don't think a lot of people have been watching. A lot of people haven't been paying attention. I mean, their record is not sexy. They don't really play a sexy style of ball, but it's a winning style of football that they play. And I got the Rams in this one. I think this is probably be the upset, quote unquote, the upset of wild card weekend. For me, I just, Minnesota, Sam Darnold, I don't know. I and that's like the question mark. the fewer question marks you have, the more confident, you know, I feel about you in the playoffs. And Sam Darnold for me is a big question mark because, you know, he played bad against, let's be honest, he played bad against Detroit. He played bad against Detroit, and he has, you know, every game, he'll you know, put the ball in harm's way, as they like to say. So for that reason, I got Rams in this one. Like I said, it's going to be a very entertaining weekend. Of course, games start Saturday. You got Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, NFL, college football, and all that. It's a lot of football for those that, you know, shut in from the winter storm that's blowing across America. Like I said at the top of the show, for those in the LA area, man, I hope y'all be safe. Hope you evacuated. Hope everything is well with you in your home. It's looking kind of grisly out there. You know, you seeing people that, you know, that were evacuated and fires haven't gotten to their home. I saw some videos online of people, you know, looting those homes. A lot of, you know, celebrities, $1 million homes and stuff is, you know, I'm gonna be honest, I don't feel sorry for the millionaires, but the regular everyday Joe, yeah. But it's kind of crazy out there in the LA area. You know, even on the political front. As we kind of listen, I'm done with the football talk. We kind of transitioned to the other stuff that I was going to stay for Friday, but I decided to do today. Even with the LA, you know, the California stuff, there's been, you know, a lot of pressure put on, you know, LA's mayor. You know, when the fire started, she was on a trip in Ghana. You know, President-elect Trump has called for Governor Gavin Newsom to, you know, resign. You know, you hearing the reports that, you know, they ain't got no water, which is, you know, kind of crazy when you think about it, a major city like that not being prepared for fires and stuff like that, and, you know, not having water. I don't know how true those reports truly are. You know, you get a lot of stuff out there in the LA area, but, you know, for those, hope they all had insurance. How you doing, Toilet? Listen, Toilet, even the insurance stuff, even that's become kind of a story out there with the LA fires, because like I said, it's so much going on. You really got to kind of, you know, sit back, because there's so many different outlets reporting on it from different views. You know, Fox is you know, their whole thing is, you know, we're gonna blame this on the Democrats. Like, you know, I don't put for me, I don't put, you know, a natural disaster, fires and stuff like that happen. I don't want to put that on you know, a politician, but, you know, it could be some credence to it. When you look at some of the stuff that wasn't done, that, you know, bills and stuff that was passed as far as you know, how to handle, you know, water and all that kind of stuff, it's a lot of complicated stuff. I don't really want to get into it, but it's a lot of stuff going on with the LA situation out there. You know, at the end of the day, you know, hope folks are safe, hope you evacuated, but, like, you know, some of the folks who homes and who haven't been touched yet, who may not be touched, you know, it's looting and stuff going on out there. It's crazy out there in LA. Speaking of crazy, I wanted to talk about the Joy Taylor situation. Matter of fact, give me just a second. Let me prepare this clip real quick. Maybe this will put a smile on my face as I do this. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, here we go. I'll go back over here. Go back to the single layout. All right, for those who have been living under a rock, who are not aware of what's going on with the Joy Taylor, now I'll put it as the Joy Taylor situation because that's what seems to be the focus of a lot of people in media when they're talking about this situation. For those of you who are not aware, and I'm not going to disrespect the lady's profession, it was a hairdresser, but I'm just going to say female employee for Fox, you know, has some allegations, and that's all it is kind of right now. Nothing has been criminally investigated or whatnot, and Fox hasn't released a statement, but she made allegations in a 42-page lawsuit that it was a lot of inappropriate activity involving her and involving other people going on at Fox Sports. And some of the key people that were named in the lawsuit, we're going to talk about Skip Bayless. She alleged in the lawsuit that, you know, he it's a 42-page doc, got to read through it. But she alleges that, you know, he would put his body up against hers and press against her breasts and telling, you just make it inappropriate, inappropriate touch and behavior on the job. She also claims that he offered her $1.5 million for sex, which for those who have watched Skip Bayless over the years, he presents himself as a cheap bastard. I'm gonna be honest with you. Presents himself as a cheap bastard. And like I said, none of this stuff has been kind of refuted so far by Fox. Haven't been too many public comments in regards from the people that have been accused making statements. But she also accuses of Skip Bayless. He became more aggressive after he offered her the money and she said no. His response, "How you doing, Divine?" His response was, "Ain't you Muslim?" Then now we bringing religion into it, and ain't you Muslim? Don't your daddy got and she alleges that he said that don't your daddy got 3 or 4 wives, and she had to inform him, my dad has passed away. He was leaning like, what is this? I'm offering you this money. This is all alleged. This is what she claims, and this is stuff that she's claimed. And this was the part that kind of got me with the lawsuit. You would think this is stuff that's like recent. A lot of stuff that's being reported in the news is like the highlights is like from like 2020 up until 2022, really. But she alleges that this kind of conduct and behavior and some of the stuff that she alleges in this lawsuit has been going on since 2012. 2012. I mean, that's a long time to be, in that kind of an environment where you're seeing this kind of, depraved and sexual misconduct and activity going on around you and not say anything. And 1.4, 1.5 YouTuber voted yes. That's what she alleges in the lawsuit, that he offered her $1.5 million to have sex with him. For those who don't know, Skip Bayless is a married man who is a former employee of FS1, who's moved on from Undisputed after that show kind of fell off after Shannon Sharpe left. Shannon Sharpe has addressed it because he's not included in the lawsuit, but people want to tie, he was there during the time that some of the stuff was allegedly happening, but like I said, he's not named in the lawsuit, and his response is, it ain't my business. His name ain't in it. My name been in it, ain't in it. But Skip Bayless is no longer there at Fox Sports. He hasn't really released a statement. Nobody on his team has kind of released a statement in regards to this. And also she alleges in the lawsuit, she was targeted, along by Skip Bayless and other, for her ethnicity while she worked there at Fox Sports. Juicy stuff, man. Juicy stuff. Another person that was included, and we'll talk about this more in detail, wasn't necessarily included in the lawsuit, but you're hearing his name a lot. Emmanuel Acho, who co-hosts the show on Fox Sports, that Joy Taylor became a member of a couple of years ago. Became a member of a couple of years ago. Hosts the show. I think it's called Speak for Yourself or something like that. He's been, not necessarily named in the lawsuit as a, I guess defendant or whatever. Has been named in that, but he has been named in lawsuits saying that, she alleges, and this is the hairdresser, the employee, she alleges that, he had a sexual relationship with Joy Taylor, and Joy Taylor seems to be getting a large chunk in this lawsuit, and we'll kind of go over some of the highlights of this lawsuit. But you got Joy Taylor, who has become like the face of this lawsuit, where Trump was cheating. He paid the porn star 6 figures. 13 years is crazy. Yeah, it is. Most people, like I said, most people that are reporting on this and kind of like picking at the lawsuit, picking at the highlights of it, really focus on like 2020 up until I guess now. In the last 4 to 5 years, that's what they're kind of focusing on as far as like the Joy Taylor part, and the relationship she's had with people, and her relationship she had with the employee, which I don't really know what to say as far as the Joy Taylor part in regards to the employee, because you insinuate or flat out accusing her of using her relationship with Emmanuel Acho, and along with Fox Sports executive Charlie Dixon, who we'll talk about in just a second. You insinuate in your lawsuit that she used her relationship with these men to get on not only on Undisputed, but also on the show with Emmanuel Acho, co-hosting that show. You insinuate that. You also allege that when you tried to report report sexual harassment to, I don't and this is another part I understand. Why would you report sexual harassment to another employee? But you allege you brought the fact that you was being harassed and all that kind of stuff, and you're telling in this lawsuit, you're insinuating in this lawsuit that Joy Taylor told you to get over it, suck it up. This is kind of like the way we do business here, which I don't understand why you would go to another employee. Really, I was kind of confused about that. But you also go on to allege in this lawsuit that you really focus in on the Charlie Dixon, who was still is executive vice president of content over there at Fox Sports. You say in the lawsuit that Joy Taylor, you tried to warn Joy Taylor about having a sexual relationship with Mr. Dixon and Mr. Acho at the same time. When you approached her with concerns about that dynamic, the lawsuit states Joy Taylor told her that she should, she meaning Joy Taylor, would simply report his misconduct to Fox Sports once he was no longer useful to her. And for those who kind of looked over the lawsuit, that kind of sounds like some Me Too. And all of this is alleged. Like I said, it hasn't been investigated. To my knowledge, it hasn't been investigated or refuted. But you're alleging that Joy Taylor was only using Charlie Dixon to get what she wanted, and when he became no longer useful, and if their relationship ever came out, or if he ever tried to do something to her on a professional level, you were going to come out. Joy Taylor was going to come out and Me Too, Mr. Dixon, which I don't listen. This lawsuit is itself. I don't want to say it's some leaps of logic for me. It's some leaps of logic for me because even if that was Joy Taylor's plan for the future, once Mr. Dixon became not useful to her, she was going to Me Too him if he ever tried to come out against you. Why would you discuss that with this employee who has come to you and expressed concerns about the relationship you was having not only with Mr. Dixon but also Mr. Acho? Why would she feel free to be relaying this information to you after you came to her about misconduct on the job and she told you to get over it? I'm confused. I would clearly want to know what kind of relationship you had. For me, like how close a relationship you had with Joy Taylor that she would tell you these things. Not to say that you're lying, but like I said, it's some leaps of logic. It's some leaps of logic. Typically, when you see stuff like this happening, where someone is alleging sexual misconduct, it's really just focused on the individual parties or somebody up in higher up in management that you reported it to, that they didn't act on it or whatever. You don't really see somebody I don't want to say you're snitching, but I'm not understanding Joy Taylor being included in the lawsuit in this fashion. The other two gentlemen, Charlie Dixon, and it's another guy, Bobby Diaz, who has not really been talked about in the news because not to say that he's a nobody, but he's more of a behind the scenes kind of guy, and he's got the most salacious stuff in the lawsuit. But I just like the whole Joy Taylor thing has been kind of weird. I'm curious about the relationship that you have with Joy Taylor, that she would feel comfortable telling you that I was going to Me Too somebody. I just don't, and especially in the world and in the environment and culture that we live in, I just don't understand the thought process and the logic behind that. I just, not to say that you're lying. I mean, the lawsuit is the lawsuit. It is what it is. I'm just, why would, I don't get that. The part that I do get was Charlie Dixon, who we talked about him having a relationship with Joy Taylor, but also alleges in the lawsuit. The employee alleges in the lawsuit that he touched on her inappropriately, and you alleged, like I said, all this is alleged. You accused him of using his sexual relationship with Joy Taylor, and giving her the right to host, get jobs at Fox. He was a executive vice president, like I said, executive vice president of content, who I would assume at Fox Sports is pretty high up on the food chain. But you allege that he used his sexual relationship with her to benefit Joy Taylor, despite objections from other staff. Then you allege also, this is part of some of the stuff that I'm surprised hasn't made it out into the media yet. You also allege that, for those who don't know, Joy Taylor used to be married, ended up getting divorced some years ago. And I'm guessing this was during this time period. You allege that Joy Taylor's ex-husband found evidence of the inappropriate relationship before divorcing her. She also, meaning she accuses the employee, I'm talking about the employee, she also accuses Dixon of paying off the second husband, former NBA player and coach Earl Watson, to stay silent about the matter. So you're alleging that he found out about the inappropriate relationship and ended up divorcing Joy Taylor, and to keep it from going public of why they divorced, the real reason behind why they divorced. You allege, and you accuse Mr. Dixon of paying off the second, paying off the husband, to stay silent about the matter. You are also accusing him in the lawsuit of firing an unnamed female employee for refusing to have sex with him, and he, allegedly has his own wife. This is messy, y'all. And Toy Lady, this is right up your alley as far as messy is concerned. Eucalyptus. It sounds like Joy Taylor was trying to tell her how to play the game. Like I said, these are her statements. This is what she's accusing in the lawsuit. But Dixon, and like I said, I'm surprised he hasn't been at the forefront of it. But then again, he's not as well known as the other parties involved. But you also accused him, talking about Mr. Dixon, you also accused him of keeping his wife, his own wife, on the payroll, which is Fox payroll, just so she would remain silent about the affairs that he was having with Joy Taylor and other employees at Fox. So you're accusing him of giving his wife a job, kind of like hush money. She was just probably I'm very close. It's good. Yeah. Toy Lady, once you kind of get into like the nitty gritty, what they're putting out in the media is like surface stuff. Like you're more like shocked about the names, and they're talking about relationship. But when you getting down into the nitty gritty of what she's alleging, especially like the guy Charlie Dixon, and even the guy Bobby Diaz, who we'll talk about in just a second. Like you don't even hear Bobby Diaz's name brought up by the media. But for a guy, for you to say that the guy put his wife on the payroll is a form of hush money, to kind of keep her silent while he was still messing around with these women is wow. I mean, I've heard some, buying wife gifts, and I think about popped in my head just now, Kobe Bryant, upgrading his wife's ring when he was caught out there doing dirt. But for you to say, I'm not going to take that route, I'm gonna give you a job and put you on the payroll. Wow. I mean, that's like some next level shit for me. That's like some next level shit. I would never think that somebody would do that, put their own wife on the payroll while I'm still having affairs with these women. Like, I guess you kill two birds with one stone. I mean, that's crazy. But speaking of crazy, the guy Bobby Diaz, like I said, is a behind the scenes employee. He's not an on-air talent. But he's got some of the most salacious stuff in this lawsuit. She goes on to allege that he racially and sexually harassed not only her, but other employees. And she says the reason that he was not reprimanded by Fox officials for the sexual and racial misconduct on the job, she alleges the reason why he was not reprimanded was because he was providing cocaine for his colleagues. I'm like, what? And like I said, this is messy. And then like we'll get into some other stuff in just a second. But you alleged that, reason why they didn't act on, and this guy, like I said, this guy's a behind the scenes employee. He's not on air talent. He's not Skip Bayless. He's not Joy Taylor, someone you can point to, we have pictures of and, highlights and all that. You alleged that this guy was doing all this stuff to other, other employees there. And the reason why he wasn't reprimanded because he was providing cocaine for he was the plug. Listen. Do you have the link to the paperwork? I can get it to you, Divine. I can get it to you. This is crazy. You also alleged, that he would grope on you and harass and was, all of this stuff that he was, he was doing, behind the scenes and stuff. Like you even alleged in one incident. He was able to avoid punishment even after he removed his pants on live camera. I don't know where this happened. I don't know. Was it, on a show? Was it, was he a guy offset? I don't know where this happened. She allegedly, removed his pants on live camera. Like I said, I've never heard of this Bobby Diaz character. But she, like I said, she she alleged, this kind of conduct happened from the time that she was there. She was the victim of misconduct from 2012 until August of last year. This is crazy. And what makes it even a little bit more crazy when you look at some of the people who are not named in the lawsuit, who have had their own gripes in regards to Joy Taylor. Being put in certain positions and elevated to certain jobs. I'm talking about, the Jason Whitlocks and the Marcellus Wileys, and they've been talking. They have been talking. And I got a clip for you. Give me just a second. We pull it up. I got a clip. And, for those who don't know, Jason Whitlock, one of those talking heads on sports TV, Marcellus Wiley, a former football player who joined Fox as, analyst for them and that kind of stuff. But they've kind of gotten together since the Joy Taylor stuff has kind of come out and been very public with making statements and what they think was, and this is their own allegation. Like I said, they're not included in the lawsuit, but they've kind of jumped in and dogpiled on it, and they've been riding it. And this is them talking about, this is one of the clips. But here you go.
You and I especially, because it's therapeutic. I think it's really crystallizing for me some of the machinery that was at play, some of the moves, the mechanisms, because I just thought it was like in football, like in sports, you lose an opportunity. Hey, the younger running back that's cheaper is going to be the guy that probably takes your job. He's a quarter of the payment and half as good as you, something like that. So I never looked at Acho in a negative light. This lawsuit brought a lot of things home for me that I never thought of. So for you, the thing you didn't know was that Acho and Joy were plotting for our show. I did know that. What I didn't know, allegedly, was the fact that Charlie Dixon was involved with Joy Taylor romantically. If I had known that then it would have made sense of all of not only the movements, but the power that came from those movements. Because it's one thing to go to lunch with somebody and say, I want my own show. Yeah, I'm sure that happens every single day for somebody out there in talent. But to actually make it come to fruition, that takes a different level of pull. So I've always known that Acho and Joy Taylor allegedly, in rumor mill, were romantically involved. I also know from two different talents at Fox that are still currently there that, hey, Marcellus, look out. They plotting on you, big dog, because everybody there I have a good relationship with. We all on different schedules. So I always knew for 2 years, and it really put our relationship, Acho and I's relationship, in a weird place, because for 2 years, I knew what he was trying to do, but I had the football mentality and spirit of, if you take it from me, it wasn't mine in the first place. So then when it occurred, I ain't think twice about it. They gave me other opportunities. They gave me things that they knew I would deny. You know how it goes. They give you offers that they know you won't accept. And that's their way of covering themselves in terms of, hey, well, we tried, but you didn't really try because you knew you didn't give me something competent. You didn't give me something that was of my ilk. They didn't give you an opportunity to take advantage of our show that was growing at the greatest rate of all the shows at FS1.
All right, I'm back over here. Yeah, that's Jason Whitlock and Marcellus Wiley talking, and Marcellus Wiley has gone on to say, let me get back over here. Marcellus Wiley has gone on to say that, you know, lawyers have started to reach out to him for a possible lawsuit in the fallout from the Joy Taylor situation, kind of coming out. Yeah. It's getting, excuse me, it's getting messy. It's very, 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 very messy. And for those of you that want the actual document, the actual 42-page lawsuit, let me know. I will send it to you. You can kind of look over for yourself. I believe in, you know, sharing content. But like I said, it's a lot to kind of read through. It's some head scratching stuff here. Like I said, it's a lot of incidents and stuff that she's reported and happened. And yeah, if you need it, just let me know. I'll email it to you, or if I don't have your email, y'all know mine. Who don't know? But yes, just let me know. And I'll his name is Emmanuel, right? Emmanuel Archer, yes. Former football player, one of the, you know, leading analysts on Fox Sports. And I would say this about Fox, not just Fox Sports, but just Fox in general. Fox has had a habitual problem, more so than any other network that I can think of in recent memory, of having, you know, lawsuits and stuff dealing with misconduct on the job, as far as you know, sports commentators and analysts. And you know, you look at the stuff that was going on at Fox News and the lawsuits that I don't know if it's a culture thing that they got going on there at Fox, but there's been a lot of questionable stuff there at Fox. I'm not sure where this lawsuit is going to go. Like I said, most of the parties in the lawsuit have not really come out and made a public statement as far as, like, you know, we're gonna battle this in court. I don't really know. I don't really know what direction, because and I don't want to say that you know, and Fox was named, you know, as a defendant in the lawsuit, so that, you know, you would think they would come out and address it. It'd be some kind of reprimand, or maybe you know, she, you know, I'm just going to kind of read. Matter of fact, you know what, I do show and tell. I'll do show and tell to kind of see, let y'all to see what it looked like. Because I got to pull it up here. I'll let you kind of see what it looks like. Let me see. Can I make it bigger so y'all can kind of, yeah. Hold on. Do this. Go big screen so I can see. Okay, cool. I could see. All right, come back over here. Make myself. Yeah, just take me off. You know, and this is some of the stuff that she has. You know, she's you know, for the class action complaint, you know, failure to pay wages, business expenses, that kind of stuff. I don't know nothing too much about that, but this is what she's you know, individual complaints, sexual battery, hostile work environment due to sex, gender, race, disability, failure to prevent harassment. That's probably why you see, you know, Fox Sports, Fox Corporation, Fox Sport, everything dealing with Fox and they stuff included in this lawsuit. Negligent supervision, you know, retaliation, wrongful termination. All of this is included in the lawsuit. Oh, she's not playing with it. Yep, toy lady. Listen, I mean, it's some healthy, stuff. There's some healthy stuff in here. She was forced to, she said she was forced to endure all of this stuff over the span that she was working there. She started there working part-time back in 2012. As a part-time employee, I think she became full-time in 2016. Yeah, these are the parties involved. Fox Sports, Charlie Dixon, Skip Bayless, Joy Taylor, there's some other people, right? It's still more people. You talk about the president of the company, CEO of Fox Sports. She going after everybody. Yeah. But like I said, if you want a copy of it, just let me know. I'll send it to you. Or I can tell you where to get it for free. Yes, Divine. That's what she alleges in the lawsuit. She's pretty much saying that, she brought the fact that Joy Taylor, she was getting harassed, and she told Joy Taylor, which I was kind of confused about. Why would you go to another employee? But I don't know. I don't know the thought process. But she was pretty much told, get over it. You found out she was having a sexual relationship with not only Mr. Acho, like I said, who's not named as a defendant, but he's his name appears throughout the course of the the documentation. But you also you accuse Joy Taylor of using her sexual relationship with the executive vice president, Mr. Dixon, to get certain jobs. You also allege that when you kind of warned her that, hey, that's not the right thing to do, she pretty much told you, if it all goes left, if Mr. Dixon tries to jump out the window on me, I'm going to Me Too him. And that's kind of like been that's what's kind of been reported in the news, but it's a healthy read, man. It is a healthy read. And you accuse the guy of putting his wife on the payroll to kind of keep her quiet. You accuse him of paying off Joy Taylor's ex-husband. You accuse him of paying off Joy Taylor's ex-husband to kind of keep him quiet. Let me come back over here. Like I said, if you're interested in it, matter of fact, I'll show y'all where to get it. I'll put the link in here. You can just download it to your computer. Like I'm always helping. Hold on, let me get back over here. I'll drop it down in the chat for you. For those who want it, you can go to that link right there. You can just download the PDF and look through it, or you can just look through it on the website. It's got the whole thing up there. Yeah, the whole thing. But yeah, this is a messy situation. Like I said, the links there in the chat. If you want it. Like I said, you can just read over it yourself, and I'm pretty sure y'all have fun. But it's a lot of questionable stuff. Like I get the Charlie Dixon stuff, because alleged in the lawsuit that you had some inappropriate contact with him. I get the Skip Bayless stuff. I get the Fox Sports stuff. I get the other people that were named, the Bobby Diaz and those other people being named. The Joy Taylor stuff, I don't know. And like I said, Joy Taylor's become the focus of the media attention of it, because nobody really knows. Let's be honest, nobody really gives a damn about Dixon or Diaz. Skip Bayless is, like I said, he's gone on from Fox Sports. He hasn't really addressed it. He's moved on with a podcast. I'm doing a podcast with his wife. Yeah, it's getting messy. Jason Whitlock, with some of his commentary earlier this week, talking about he's glad that he wasn't on the show with Joy Taylor because he knew what he would do. Talking about her, I'm surprised they ain't tried to hit him with some paperwork yet. He's talking about her her caramel skin and her breast size on live TV. Talking about he knew what he would do if he was around it, like real creepy. Ooh, okay. And he's been on the warpath, and like I said, there's other potential lawsuits coming against not only Fox Sports, but possibly Joy Taylor, Mr. Dixon. I got it downloaded. Thanks. Yeah. Have a look at it. Have a look at it. It's wild. It's wild. She goes. It's a lot to kind of. She I mean, like I'm down to like what page am I on, like page 9. I'm just like skimming through again myself. They cut her hours after going on medical leave because you weren't willing to play ball with people. I like this. It's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff involved in this. But y'all take a look at it, man. It's crazy. Before we kind of let's move on. Let's move on. Like I said, I've been following this, in the social media space, especially on I don't like calling it X. I still call it Twitter. With the people putting out stuff. Joy Taylor recently made did like a TikTok or something. She uploaded a video. She don't seem to be bothered. She also appeared on the show the next day that the lawsuit kind of came out. So like I said, the parties that are involved really haven't come out publicly and said this lady was lying. She's a disgruntled employee. You haven't seen the typical kind of counteractive, I wouldn't call it a smear campaign, but those statements you usually get when somebody has a civil lawsuit come out. Hey, we're going to fight this in court, or you haven't seen that. And it's weird, man. But it's weird for, like I said, those that want to check it out, check it out. It'll be still giving. Moving on, we're going to talk about the Jimmy Butler situation. For those who don't know, Jimmy Butler, star forward for the Miami Heat, has recently made statements that he wanted to be traded. Felt like he, as he said, he didn't have his joy anymore. He didn't feel like, moving forward with the team, request to be traded. And this is not something that has been new to the NBA, but Pat Riley and the Miami Heat have kind of turned it on its head. And like I said, I want to take a deep dive look at what I think, and this is just me, what I think is really going on with the Jimmy Butler situation. Listen, Jimmy Butler not wanting to be in Miami. Like I said, it's nothing new. We've seen plenty of superstar players, especially over the last decade and a half, force their way out of places. I don't want to be here, trade me. They'll give the team a list of teams to be traded, but this Jimmy Butler situation is turning out to be something very, very, very different from your usual superstar wanting to leave stuff. And the first thing that jumps out of you in regards to the superstar wanting to be traded is the approach that Miami Heat took, particularly Pat Riley, team president, pretty much the de facto ruler, end all, be all with the Miami Heat, the man who installed Heat culture, as they like to call it. But the position that the Miami Heat took is one I have never seen from a guy wanted to be traded and be requested. But I think I get what Pat Riley is attempting to do. He is suspended Jimmy Butler for 7 games. For conduct detrimental to the team, and it's alleged in his from Heat sources, it's been alleged that reason why they say conduct detrimental, say that Jimmy Butler for the last couple games that he did play, he wasn't playing hard. That's what they allege, and that's why they suspended him. Jimmy Butler stands to lose about $3 million because he's going to be you lose a game check every time that you're suspended 7 games. And at the salary that Jimmy Butler is playing, I want to say that's about, I think it's about 400 plus a game. something around that ballpark. This is a new approach. Typically, you would see teams, kind of like, we're going to work on this behind the scenes. You'll see teams, kind of sit guys out while they work on getting a deal. This is the first time I've seen a team suspend a guy, especially for this length of time, for conduct detrimental, simply for, especially when it hasn't been reported that, behavior prior to the suspension, like where you can see it coming. And I think what one is a power play by Pat Riley. Clearly a power play by Pat Riley. But like, we don't have no interest in trading you. I don't think it's like we want you to, remain in the organization. I think that for me, from the outside looking in, I think that bridge is burned. But I look at what Pat Riley is doing, because like I said, in the past you could sit guys, send guys home while you kind of worked on the deal, because you don't want a guy to go out there and get hurt. What the NBA has been done over the last couple of years is when we talk about load management and teams, giving guys days off and too many DNPs for mysterious illnesses. What the NBA has done over the past couple of years is try to stem that culture of load management, where they start to penalize teams and find teams when they feel like a star player. And Jimmy Butler definitely fits into that category because it's broken down by category as far as the level of the fine that the team can get by sitting quote unquote star players. I think it's a salary thing, all-star appearances, that kind of stuff. And I get the NBA doing that, because you want your best product out there on a nightly basis as much as you possibly can. But the Heat taking this approach, one, they avoid having to pay and having to explain to the league why this guy is sitting and not playing. And what the NBA does, they hit you with the first fine and it escalates from there. So that it could be a cost saving move done by Pat Riley. Definitely a power play by Pat Riley. And when you look on the other side of it, because when you have Jimmy Butler in his situation, and that side of it, the reports were that he wanted to go to Phoenix. Bradley Beal was going to be included in the deal to make the numbers kind of work. But Bradley Beal is the other side of the situation that a lot of people are not really focusing on. Bradley Beal, who was traded from the Washington Wizards to Phoenix a couple of years ago, has a no trade clause in his contract, meaning the Phoenix Suns can't move him without his permission. And not too many players have a no trade clause in their deal. I think, to my knowledge, Bradley Beal and LeBron are the only ones who have that included in their contract. Bradley Beal, you to hear your name in trade rumors, and I'm surprised more players. My cousin who played for it's a business. Yeah, it is a business. YouTuber photo, definitely a business. And I'm surprised more superstar players have not tried to get this in their contracts when they're negotiating their contracts, having that no trade clause. Because at the end of the day, if you don't have, you don't have that in your thing, in your contract, a team literally can send you wherever the hell they want to send you to. I mean, honestly, like, yeah, they want you to, we want to get the most back from you. As far as if we got to trade you, we want the most assets we can get from you. And we try to work with you and try to get you to the destination you want to be at, because, you being happy, your trade partner being happy means we get more assets. I'm surprised more superstar players don't have the no trade thing, because that gives you control over, during your tenure of your contract, you got control over where you're going to go. That team has to approach you. And like I said, that's the flip side of this Jimmy Butler situation. Bradley Beal's, stands like, ain't nobody talk to me. I haven't, none of that. And I'm not, I don't want to go play in Miami. So, and you can't make me go play in Miami because I have a no trade clause in my contract. So this is a very, yeah, a lot of Toilet. A lot of guys, a lot of teams don't want you to put that in your contract. It's not really something you see a lot of guys actually get. Like, to my knowledge, Bradley Beal and LeBron are the only two. Good night, YouTube. Bradley Beal and LeBron are the only two that got a no trade clause in their contract. Because a lot of teams, they want to be able to say, hey, your contract is guaranteed. So, NBA player, when they sign for 7 years, 100 million, they get all 100 million. But most teams say, hey, we already, paying you, big time money. Some of these guys are making $50-60 million this year, just this season. We want to be able to, if we feel the need to move you, we want to be able to move you. So you don't really see guys getting the no trade clause put into the contract. It's like I said, this Jimmy Butler situation is different on a lot of levels. And I look at like this. The stance that the Miami Heat taking, especially by Pat Riley, I think this is going to be something that could change NBA culture. And what I mean by change NBA culture, for far too long, players have had the ability to dictate the terms and conditions of where they're going to go, where they're going to play, and that kind of stuff. They'll get to a place. I'm not happy here, trade me here, and all that. The stance that the Miami Heat are taking, not only are we not, entertaining the idea of not trading you, and you've made your statements publicly that you want to be traded. Not only we're not entertaining that right now, we're going to sit you down. We're going to suspend you because we feel that that's conduct detrimental to our team. You're going to lose money, and we're still not going to send you where you want to go. And I look at this as a power move by NBA ownership and management. What's going on, brother? Yeah, catch the replay. I feel like this is a move that could lead to NBA management saying, hey, we're going to take the power back from the player. Like we bring you here and we sign you for 5 years, whatever we paying you. We expect you to be here 5 years, and that kind of stuff. And you're going to have a power struggle. Already the Players Association has filed an appeal against the Miami Heat to rescind Jimmy Butler's suspension. I mean, you can't. It's too late to change it. He's suspended, but it's in the an attempt to kind of get the money back. But this is a power play by management led by Pat Riley to say, hey, players, you don't dictate anything anymore. And this, like I said, it could be a culture change because the players that have that kind of cachet, who have had that kind of cachet, who have flexed that kind of cachet, the LeBrons, the KDs, the Kyries. Listen, those guys are getting older. And it's a lot of young guns coming up, but none of those guys have developed the kind of cachet of a KD, that don't have the cachet of a LeBron to where you can say, hey, I want to be traded and you need to trade me here. You might start seeing teams, once the player has made it known that they want to be moved, you might start seeing teams move these guys where, hey, we're going to see wherever the hell we can get the best assets from. And it may not be where you want. I look at this having those kind of ramifications, the Jimmy Butler situation, having those kind of ramifications, on the flip side. And then you look at the Bradley Beal part of it, already no trade clause in contracts is not something that is common amongst NBA players. I wouldn't be surprised if the Players Association gets together with these superstar players that are getting these max deals now and in the future. Hey, you might want to start including that in your contract if this is the stance that the NBA and management is going to be taking with the players. Like, hey, and I don't fault management for saying, hey, you may want to go to Phoenix, but they not offer me a better package than, let's say, the Indiana Pacers. The Indiana Pacers maybe offer me a better package. I want to get the most back from you. That's typically how trade works. If I can get, like trading in a car, if I get more money from a different dealership, I'm gonna go there, regardless if you want my car. Like, I don't know. I don't say the player, but like I said, I think it's gonna be some long-standing ramifications coming out of this Jimmy Butler situation. I'm curious to see how it kind of plays out. Like I said, I'm surprised more players don't include the no trade clause. For me, that would be if we're all about player control and controlling your destiny and really have real control over where you go and where you end up. And it's not just where the player wants to play. You're talking about family situation, that kind of stuff. Why you don't have the no trade clause in your contract? I don't get that. I don't get that, but there may be a move by the Players Association to start pushing that on these guys that's coming up for these supermax deals and getting this money. Like, hey, we were all about control. And this seems like it's a battle for control. When you, like I said, Jimmy Butler situation, it's nothing new. Guys coming out said he don't want to be there, want to be moved. He's not happy. Miami didn't offer him a big time extension this past off season. He's making $50 million this year. I want to say about $50 million this year. Has an option if he opts in to return back to Miami. Has an option for another $50+ million. But he once you get a certain age, man, you want the long term run. You want the security. And I get it. But this is an interesting situation, the Jimmy Butler situation. I'm not sure how it's going to play out. I'm not sure how it's going to play. I'm pretty sure NBA management has been looking for ways to, better control player movement and that kind of stuff where, the players are not dictating. Not only do you want me to trade you, but you want me to trade you to this location because that makes you happy. And not because that team is giving me the best. This is a power play. This is a power struggle waiting to happen. I'm curious to see how it plays out. Money, a lot of money is involved. A lot of money. The teams, like if Miami is able to kind of get with this and the Players Association don't win their appeal, I wouldn't be surprised if the next player who says, I want to be traded, the team says we're going to suspend you for 10 games without pay. And still not, like I said, Miami organization still has not come out and said, we're going to trade Jimmy Butler. Trade deadline, I want to say, is next month. They still have not come out and said we're going to move him. So, the guy's losing money. He's not playing. And the team right now has no interest of moving you. It's a messy situation out there in Miami. I'm curious to see how it kind of plays out. I don't have any dog in the fight. I'm not taking the player side or management side because, I see it from both sides. Management does have a point. I mean, if your team is offering me more for you, it may not be where you want to play, but you don't want to play for me. So why do I care? And I get that. Like, why do you want to play for another team? You don't want to be here. I mean, it's like, getting rid of your woman telling you she want to break up. Okay, cool. But you're not gonna tell me, send me to this guy. I want to go date this guy, and I want you to trade me to him. Like, the hell? Like, nah, I need to. If you're not playing for my team, I don't give a damn where you go. Let me get the most back from you. I'm just saying. I get it for both sides. Player, you want to have control over your destiny. Just like any employee wants to be able to say, hey, I want to work at this job, at this location, and work these hours. I don't want to be at a job where I'm working overtime. Like, I get it. But it's just an interesting situation, Jimmy Butler situation. I think I've given y'all more than enough content. Like I said, will not be no show tomorrow. Let me peek in on the college football score because I left at halftime to get ready for the show. Let me see what we got going on here. It was 10-10 when Notre Dame has moved on to the national championship game, 27-24. I got to catch the replay on that one. Actually turned into a better game than it was in the first half. Okay, cool. So Penn State season is over. Notre Dame has moved on. I'm pretty sure the sponsors love that. Love them some Fighting Irish. Try look, but brother, listen. I mean, just think about it. If I'm trading, I'm gonna say trading my car, and the dealership say, man, we'll give you, let's say, $2,000, and I know another dealership is gonna give me $5,000. Give me, better interest rate on the next car that I'm trying to get. Why would I, go to that first dealership just because, that's what, it don't make sense, man. That's how trade works. I want the most. I'm sorry. I want the most. If I'm paying for something, I want the most. When I turn my money over, I want the best quality that I can get for my money. It's like going to a restaurant. I'm not going to be paying 5-star restaurant prices for McDonald's. No, not doing that. Like I said, but I get it from both sides. Players, I'm with you, bro. Listen, bro. And I look at this, like I said, the situation with Jimmy. It's I think this is a bigger fight than the media's really kind of giving. I don't think people are really like looking at it from that angle. Like this is a first time management has done this. Because typically, guys will kind of play and the team will be working behind the scenes to move a player, or they'll, you get a lot of deep, do not plays. But Miami said, the hell with that, we're gonna suspend you. We're gonna suspend you. And not only are we gonna suspend you, and when people say what's the conduct detriment, he ain't played hard. That's muddy in the waters even more. That's muddy in the water. So, I don't know if Jimmy Butler gets traded this year. I don't know. And then you got to look at the flip side of it. Bradley Beal, he would have to be included in that deal if he wanted to, if y'all say we're gonna trade with Phoenix, Bradley Beal got to be part of that deal. Bradley Beal has the power to say, hell no. I don't want to go to Miami. I don't like that situation. I like it here in Phoenix. This is, like I said, this is a messy situation. A messy situation, but I look at this as a power play between players and owners. And like I said, I don't think the media is really looking at it like that. I look at it as a power play from between players and owners. Players have controlled the NBA for the better part of the last 2 decades. Players have controlled the NBA for the better part of the last 2 decades. I look at management saying, going forward, we're gonna be partners for real. You're not controlling nothing. You're not controlling nothing. If you feel like you want to go out there and half-ass it, we'll suspend you and cost you money. So, anyway, let me get my behind up out of here. It has been a pleasure, man. Hope y'all are being safe out there for those caught up in out there in California with the fires and stuff. Be safe. No worldly possessions are worth your life. I'm gonna be honest with you. No worldly possessions are worth your life. And for those of you going through the winter storm, which is a lot of people in America, be safe, be bundled up, man. Be prepared. I will say I went to where I went to Walmart earlier this week. I just wanted to do regular grocery shopping. I don't understand. That Cali situation is scary, brother, man. Listen, I talked about it a little bit early in the show, man. Like you got, houses and stuff burning out, people evacuating, and you got the looters running up through there, man. It's videos all online. They got full on. You would think they was a goddamn moving company the way they're going through these folks' houses that have evacuated. Like we got to get to it before the fire get to it. I mean, it's crazy. But yeah, I'm preparing. You're preparing for the snow now. Listen, be safe, man. But listen, I went to Walmart earlier. I get getting water. I don't understand the rush to buy up all the goddamn tissue. That'd be like the confusing. That'd be like the confusing part to be like the water. I get survival. You need water. I don't give a damn what situation you need water. Non-perishable foods, canned foods. I get it. The rush to buy up all the goddamn toilet paper. I don't get that. I don't get that. I don't understand the logic behind it, and I have yet to find somebody that can really explain to me why toilet tissue is such a big priority when a disaster is coming, or a winter storm, or like during hurricane season. What's the buying up all the goddamn tissue? I don't get that. Food, yeah, non-perishable food, canned foods, yeah, that's flying off the shelf. I get it. Water, understandable. Toilet tissue, I don't get. I don't get. Well, if you ain't bought Skins toilet paper, is I mean, listen, wet wipes, yeah, I get it. You lose power, lose water. You want to keep yourself clean. Toilet tissue, I don't know. I have yet to find somebody to explain that that being part of your survival kit, having all the goddamn tissue. I remember it happening like it before that. Like, I don't listen, brother. I don't get it. I listen. I have water. I get canned goods. Like I was expecting to see shells, stuff flying off the shelves for that kind of stuff. Toilet tissue, like the hell. Sam's Club. Listen, Sam's Club and Costco. Those that know, man. That's where you go. They say you won't leave my ass dirty. Listen, that's what wet wipes are for, baby wipes. Like, why the hell I need to buy 5 packs of toilet tissue? What? Unless you slanging it, I don't get it. Unless you selling it, what's going on, Keep? I don't get it. I for the life of me, listen, I don't get it. But like I said, man, y'all be safe. Like I said, stay bonded up, man, and protect you and yours. It's messy out there. It's messy out there. Hope to see y'all when we return back next week. Not, no show tomorrow. That's why I kind of crammed it out. Before I close out, does anybody else want the link? For those kind of coming in, anybody else want the link to the Joy Taylor lawsuit? I'll just drop it in the chat. For those that just want to look over for their own stuff and want to do content on it, like I said, it's kind of crazy. I ain't gonna say it's on P. Diddy level, but it's kind of crazy. I'll drop that link once again in there. It's like I said, free of charge. Free of charge. You ain't got to sign up or do nothing to get it. It's a good read. I'm pretty sure. Toy Lady and Divine, y'all have a ball. Free. It's some content, man. It is some content. But anyway, like I said, y'all be safe out there, man. There's a lot of football this weekend. Game tomorrow. The other semifinal for college football is tomorrow. Got games on Saturday. Got games on Sunday. Got a game on Monday. It's football season. It's money time too. It's money time. I'm gonna be sad next month when football is over. I love me some NBA, but it's football is my first passion. But anyway, let me get my ass up out of here. Just remember, what they hate in you ain't in them. And end you off with the phrase that pays around here. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, but every time you learn. And I'm out.